take a battery, and your knife will be sharper than ever. A dull kitchen knife can be sharpened with a regular battery. When a knife no longer cuts as well, using it becomes a hassle. It squashes tomatoes instead of slicing them, and cutting other things becomes difficult. A paper test shows that the knife still cuts, but barely. Our grandmothers sharpened knives with a cup. My grandmother also had her favorite cup for this purpose. She would turn the cup upside down. There was a rough edge without polish on the bottom of the cup. Knives are sharpened on the edge of the cup at the proper angle. You have to remember that. You can sharpen the knife from both sides this way, but even after sharpening like this, the knife isn't as sharp as a razor. That's why you need a battery. But first, take toothpaste. Any kind will do. Apply it with a stick along the edge of the blade. Don't do this with your fingers to avoid getting cut. Apply toothpaste on the other side as well. Now, take the battery. Remove the foil from it. Find the edge of the foil and start peeling it off there. Hold the battery and start running it along the blade at a gentle angle, from the tip of the knife to the handle. Do this many times. Turn the knife over and use the battery on the other side too. A knife sharpened in this way will eventually be perfect. You can sharpen all your knives like this. It will easily cut even soft tomatoes. It will also effortlessly cut through paper. This trick should be used in every household. Using a knife and parchment paper, you can conveniently store butter in small portions. Parchment paper pieces prevent the butter from sticking together, allowing you to freeze and thaw it easily. Simply cut parchment paper pieces and place them on the knife while cutting. Then wrap the pieces around and place them in a plastic container. This butter can be stored in the refrigerator or freezer.
Eat grapes in the winter as well. This recipe will allow you to store them for 2 years without a fridge. The grape season is in full swing right now. Instead of wasting the fruits, prepare them for the winter. Enjoy their taste all year round. Wash the grapes thoroughly and remove the fruits from the stems. Do this gently to avoid damaging the skins. I chose 2 types of grapes, green and red. They are sweet and ripe now. Such fruits spoil very quickly, so I don't delay and get to work. I put the grapes in large jars. Mine have a capacity of 1.5 liters. I arrange the fruits in layers. I fill the jars halfway with green grapes and then with red grapes. Then I pour in boiled water. We fill the jar so that the fruits are submerged in water. The next step is sugar. We add 1 tablespoon to the grapes. We close the jars tightly. We fill a pot with water and place kitchen towels on the bottom. We place the jars upside down. Bring to a boil and cook for 15 minutes. Remove the jars and let them cool down. Grapes prepared in this way can be stored without a fridge for up to 2 years. You can enjoy their taste all year round.
The drawer under the oven has a hidden function. You'll be shocked to learn what it's for. It's not designed for storing pans and sheets at all. This unassuming part of the kitchen comes in handy while cooking. When we take a dish out of the oven and don't want it to cool down quickly, all you have to do is open the drawer under the stove and put it in there. It's also useful for storing leftovers or portions for late arriving guests. The oven, working above it, effectively warms it up. As a result, the dish will stay warm for a longer time. Were you aware of this drawer function? Do you have one in your kitchen? The cap for a bottle of oil has a hidden function. Never throw it away. Most people are unaware of this, even though they use oil every day. This trick makes cooking more enjoyable. After buying a new bottle of oil, remember to do this. The new cap will be sealed with a plug. You should remove it, but never throw it away. It has a brilliant use. When powering oil, it usually splashes and spills. This hack will make the bottle more precise. Flip the plug and insert it back into the cap. The latch should catch on its inside so that it doesn't come out during use. Thanks to it, measuring oil will be easier. You won't overdo the quantity. This will help reduce the calorie content of meals and save on oil. Were you aware of this hidden function of the oil cap? When cooking, Unsure what to do with the pot lid? Simply place it on the pot's handle and hook it over the pot's rim. It won't mess up the countertop and it will always be within reach. Brilliant. Almost everyone has it at home. We use it for peeling vegetables such as potatoes, cucumbers, or carrots. But do you know what the protruding element is for? Most people don't pay any attention to it at all. However, since it's there, it surely serves a purpose. Peelers are strange in general. They have blades attached in one place in the middle, making them movable. 2 blades. Just this element, upon reflection, is odd. When you peel vegetables, you usually move the blade in only one direction. And here's the first surprise. Proper use of a peeler involves peeling vegetables in both directions. For example, when peeling carrots or cucumbers, you can peel these vegetables twice as fast. See how simple it is. It's a big help when preparing dinner. Just try it a few times and you won't peel vegetables the old way anymore. And what about that element? It's only on one side. It's not metallic. Sometimes, intuitively, when peeling potatoes, some people use this element to remove those black eyes. But it has a better application. You can use it to cut through any thicker skin, like when peeling oranges. You don't need to use a separate knife. You don't need to use a knife at all. Just that peeler. Did you know you could peel oranges with it? Did you know about these peeler functions? My grandmother used to check eggs like this. She would observe which ones spun and which ones didn't. She had her reasons for doing so. She would take 3 eggs, holding one in each hand and placing the third between them. Any egg that spun, she would set aside in one container, and the ones that didn't spin, she would put in another. I'll reveal what that meant later on. Nowadays, hardly anyone does it this way anymore. I learned a different method from her. I know how to tell which eggs are fresh and which ones are old. If I have several cartons of eggs in the fridge, I can choose which ones to use for breakfast omelets. All I need is a glass of water for this. I put an egg in it and observe what happens. I prepared 3 glasses. I poured water into them. I'll show you how an egg might behave in water. When placed in water, an egg might sink to the bottom of the glass. Alternatively, it might float on the water's surface. In the third case, it might float halfway in the glass. What does this mean? Fresh eggs sink to the bottom. The freshest ones lie horizontally at the bottom. Eggs several days old float a bit higher. Eggs 2 to 3 weeks old float in the middle of the water. The oldest eggs won't sink. They float continuously on the surface. As for the trick with spinning eggs, my grandmother used it when a hen was sitting on the eggs. She would leave the eggs that spun for the hen to hatch. The ones that didn't spin, she would take home. Do not thaw chicken breasts. A simple grater is enough to prepare a dinner from them. Grate the frozen fillet on large holes and make an exquisite dinner out of it. This dish is my secret recipe. I don't have to rush to the store for fresh meat for dinner. If I have frozen chicken fillet in the fridge, it's so simple. Grate the frozen fillet and transfer it to a larger bowl. Chop 1 shallot. Add it to the grated meat. Peel 2 medium-sized potatoes. Grate them on the grater as well. Squeeze out excess water and add to the meat with onions. Add 1 egg. Season everything with salt and pepper. Add half a teaspoon of oregano. Sprinkle about 200 grams of grated yellow cheese. Mix into a uniform mass until all ingredients are combined. Pour a little olive oil into the pan. You can also add butter. You can fry the first portion as small patties. Shape them in your hands and fry. These patties are exceptionally soft and very cheesy. Everyone loves them. They smell and taste delicious. Place the second portion on the pan. Smooth out the edges. Cover with a lid and fry for about 15 minutes. After this time, take a plate and flip the dish. Fry the second side for another 15 minutes. Meanwhile, chop the green parsley. Place the fried dish on a plate, sprinkle with parsley.